Get some last minute practice going. Yeah, they're showing my screen. I know. I don't mind. Hopefully they don't mind. That's the bigger problem. But yeah, I feel like I really need this though.
All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another race in the Hollow Knight 2021 All Skills Tournament. This match will be between Eduboy and Pharest. The commentary here is me, myself, Spicy, and I'm joined by Nerf Aurelia. And this should be a fun match. Runners look like they're just getting some last minute setup done before we begin. And we should be starting shortly.
I believe on the leaderboards, I think Pharest's PB is up to date. I'm not sure about Eduboy's. Pharest on sports, he has a 51-31, and then Edu, I think he has a 54 or something, 55-57 on the boards. I think his should be like a low 54 now, though, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, now it looks like Eduboy is doing a last minute run at Hornet 2 before the race begins. Understandable, as that can be a very scary fight in the run.
Yeah. Hopefully it doesn't die on stream during practice.
It's better to die during practice, though, than during the race. So
That is true, yeah.
It definitely wouldn't help his confidence going in, though.
Yeah. Looks like he's struggling a little bit.
Oh, no. No.
All right, very good.
All right.
And I can probably get them all started to count down. Oh, hang on. Messaging both of the runners, making sure they're going to be ready soon. Look like Pharest is ready. We don't want to keep them waiting too long.
Yeah, for sure. All right, I'm going to send out the ready message.
Yep, sounds good. It looks like Edu's doing another round of Hornet. I suppose this can be the last one.
Yeah. At least it's one of the more interesting fights in the run to watch practice. Hopefully, Pharest
That's true.
is okay waiting.
All right, there we go. Looks like he's getting all ready to start.
Yeah, there we are. Just waiting on Edu's ready. And then I will start the countdown. All right, both runners are ready. I will start counting down now. 5, 4. Oh, wait, hold on. We have we have the timer checked.
One more thing.
Yeah. Before Edu will be able to begin, we're going to need him to check his timer and make sure it's working okay.
Yep, looks like it's working. Alrighty, we got the ready from both the runners, and we will count them down, and they will begin in a moment. All right, both runners should be starting shortly. We've been given the go-ahead. Good luck to both of them as they begin the run. Yep, there we go. They're off to the races. You know, despite being a few minutes behind in all skills, Edu's still one of the runners that has I think a mid 34 in any percent, so he definitely still knows what he's doing. So this should be a good race.
Yeah, anything can definitely happen in a race setting too, especially when the time difference isn't that huge.
Yeah. Looks like they're just doing a little sync up here.
Yeah. And it looks like they'll be just about tied coming out of King's Pass. Pharest ahead by, I think, 0.09 seconds. I'm sure that'll be very important going forward.
100%, yeah.
See Pharest get a little bit of unfortunate Gruz luck in the fall. Eduboy seemed to make it unscathed. The Aspid here seems to be giving Eduboy a little bit of trouble, but he manages to get it down. And both runners will go for double spike and only get one Aspid. Now we're looking at about a 1 second difference between the runners at this point in the run, which is, as we've seen in most of the tournament matches, pretty standard for this first VS split. The runners will usually be pretty close here because there's not too much time saver loss available to them.
Yeah, pretty much the only places where you can lose a lot of time are like the Aspid Arena and then unlucky RNG from False Night.
Yeah, and that unlucky False Night RNG we'll see coming up, possibly. Ideally, you want False Night to jump towards you. The bad RNG, he will jump away from you twice. The bad RNG only loses, I think, like 2 or 3 seconds to the good RNG, though, so even that's not a huge deal.
Looks like Pharest still dealt with it pretty well, though. Almost perfectly synced up with the kills there. Yeah. The staggers, rather.
Looks like Pharest is about 1.5 seconds ahead, entering the VS room.
Looks like we got 38 versus 39, I believe.
All right, looking pretty close through VS. Awesome. Both runners here just picked up Vengeful Spirit, VS for short, and they will continue to make their way through the Ancestral Mound here and kill a Balder. That Balder, notably, can decide to give you really awful RNG and not spit the mini Balder that is needed to kill it. It's a 50% chance with every spit, And the tourney record is 11 spits without. Someone can do the math. It's very unlikely.
And world record is 19, I believe. So very impressive.
Luckily for Pharest, he gets first spit, and Eduboy will get second spit. So no terrible Balder RNG for either of the runners.
Eduboy did get hit, which is kind of unfortunate. So he had to bench. So he chose to bench, rather. Probably the safe option since it only loses about a second.
Yeah, especially since dying in Green Pass, probably one of the worst places you can go out in the all skills run because you don't have dash yet, and it's just a lot of walking.
Yeah, definitely a big blow mentality-wise, too. Saying that early in the run is not a great feeling.
See, Pharest missed their turnaround on the first fireball skip. So Eduboy will gain a couple seconds there, but will still be about 2 seconds behind because of the extra Balder spit in the bend. Seeing such a good runner as Pharest miss one of those fireball skips in the race just highlights how easy it is for even top runners to miss them on occasion, just because of the fact that each one's a little bit different. Hollow Knight's input handling's a bit wonky, and a myriad of other factors. Both of them will get the second fireball skip very clean, though.
Yeah, I think a big factor about the first fireball skip is the timing is a little different than the other two. So it doesn't feel as, I suppose, like precise in a way, which can mess runners up sometimes.
Yeah, you have to wait till a lot later, and especially if you're like nervous about it, that can really get you.
Yeah, exactly. The thing you can see both of the runners doing is getting the false knight, or not the false knight, the moss knight to back up so they can hit him twice with Vengeful Spirit. That's something that we like to do a lot when speedrunning this game. So you'll see the runners try to do that a lot more as we go further on into the run. Another thing you'll notice is that we don't save Zote in this category, which is a big bonus.
Yeah, of course. Zote does not deserve it. You see Pharest struggle with those Moss Knights just a little bit. And he'll be down at 1 health. It'll be interesting to see if he gets some soul from this Moss Charger and heals before the Hornet fight.
I'd assume he heals, yeah. That's a good idea. It's going to be a slower Hornet fight, but slower is better than dying.
For sure. Especially here where a death would be probably about 4 minutes of time off.
Yeah.
3. Seen a really clean Hornet fight from Eduboy.
That is so unfortunate.
Oh no. Pharest does end up dying.
Hornet jumping around way too much. That is really unfortunate.
That is, and that'll put him well behind, probably in the realm of 3.5 minutes or so behind Eduboy for the rest of the run here. So Pharest will definitely be hoping that Eduboy messes something up somewhere along the line, and that he can just gain some time as it goes on with his movement.
You might have noticed the Moss Knights are kind of RNG at the end there, right before Hornet, and Pharest just ended up getting the bad RNG. And sometimes the bad RNG can be really hard to deal with, and you end up getting hit 1 or 2 times. And so, yeah, he was just really unlucky in that regard.
Yeah, and Hornet especially is one of those bosses where it's really easy to take damage too, just because of how quickly she attacks and how bizarre some of her attacks can be. So it was a very unfortunate situation for Pharest to be in. Meanwhile, we'll see Eduboy making his way through Fungal Waste, electing to take the bottom route in the Mushroom Room.
For the viewers who don't see a lot of speedruns of this game, dying to Hornet 1 is a lot more common than you'd think for speedrunners, so you can't really blame Pharest too much. That's just something that happens.
Yeah, dying to really anything in this game is something that happens. Nothing in Hollow Knight's particularly free. Even when we call things free, that's more in the sense of it's not impossible.
Yeah.
Because this is just a generally difficult game. So,
Oh, missing the E-Pogo.
Speaking of not free, we have E-Pogo right here. And Eduboy will get it on his second attempt. Eduboy is running into a little bit of trouble. Missing the Mantis Pogo and electing to go around. But it looks like he will safely make it to Mantis Claw, where he'll be able to quit out and get back to full health.
Yeah, it looks like both players having to deal with some nerves right now.
Yeah, which is definitely common in a race setting. It's part of the experience. Pharest's Shade is trolling him a little bit and backing away from his nail swings. See,
He almost got soft blocked.
Yeah, he did. That would have been, I'm sure, very tilting after the death. But Pharest will pick up Mothwing Cloak as Eduboy makes his way over to Shaman Stone and the Shade skip to Blue Light. Eduboy is going to be approaching the Gruzmother fight here in a moment, which is going to be a quick fight, but somewhere you can definitely lose or gain a lot of time on depending on how you clean up the Gruzes at that end.
Good fight.
And yet, to answer questions in chat, Pharest died to Hornet. It's very unfortunate. Here we see Eduboy buying Shaman Stone, which is the only charm we will obtain or use during this run. It increases your spell damage by a significant margin. For VS spells, it's 33%. I don't know what the statistic is for the other ones. And that'll just allow us to do a lot more damage to our bosses. It also makes the Vengeful Spirit bigger, which is very important because we can double hit a lot more bosses a lot easier because of it.
Ooh, Pharest doing the Wii Pogo. Very nice. Bonus points for Pharest.
Yeah, it's always fun to see those E-Pogo variants. I'm definitely too scared to attempt them myself.
Ooh, Eddie taking an unfortunate hit there. Thankfully, we have a bench coming right up here, so it's not too much of a big deal.
Yeah, so we shouldn't see any issue from him. Notably, Edu is a little bit low on Geo coming into King Station here. He should be fine as long as he gets everything in this room, but he's definitely on the lower end. This is looking a little scary here. Down to 1 health, but heals up and will be fine on the way to King Station.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
Yeah. This room is actually quite annoying to do because the husks can sometimes be in really annoying spots. Especially the one at the end sometimes doesn't die and just gets in the way because for some reason he doesn't like falling into the hole when you push him back.
Yeah. Something to note is that Eduboy definitely is on the lower end of Geo still here. The number that he'll be looking for after save quitting from Gorgeous Husk will be 704 or more because there's going to be 96 Geo from 2 rows of hoppers on the way to Dash Slash, and he needs to reach 800. Looks like he'll manage to reach that, though.
If you can't make it, unfortunately, you have to go back and do an extra row of hoppers or kill an extra enemy in there. A little bit of time lost, but not the end of the world.
Seen a nice gate storage from Pharest out of Grozmom. And he will pick up Shaman Stone. We will see Pharest take another unfortunate death to a husk. Very sad to see a runner of his caliber die to such a simple enemy. Eduboy will make quick work of the hoppers and has well over 800 Geo for Dash Slash.
Very good movement through that room. Very clean.
Yeah, movement's one of those things in all skills compared to like any percent. You see a lot of time on movement. gain and loss just because you have to traverse so much of the map. So even like those small little movement optimizations that you'll see the runners make add up to save a lot of time over the course of the run.
Yeah, exactly.
See the runners just about pass each other in Kane Station as Eduboy makes his way over to Soul Sanctum and Shade Soul, and Pharest will be making his way over to Gorgeous Husk.
Oh, Ferris getting more unfortunate RNG. You do not want the sentries to end up in the dark room. Excuse me, Edu. That's a one-way ticket to death.
Yeah, it's definitely not a good situation to be in. Notably, as Ferris loads in to get dash slash here, I'll note that he seems to be about a 2 minute and 15 second time deficit right now. So Eduboy definitely is probably feeling pretty good about the run here, but there's a lot to happen still. It's not over till it's over. And we see a nice lever skip from Eduboy to pick up Shade Soul without having to get Elegant Key or fight the Soul Warrior in the room below it.
Yeah, just to elaborate on that a little bit, on this patch specifically, we're playing on an older patch in the game. We're able to hit levers through walls, which lets us do a lot of skips in the game. For certain ones, we can't reach it with just our nail though, so we get dash slash in order to skip them. And it saves quite a bit of time. We should not have Shade Soul this early into the game, so the fact that we already have it is quite insane.
Yeah, and it'll allow us to make really quick work of the Soul Warrior and Soul Master coming up, as we see Eduboy do. The other nice thing that Dash Slash allows us to do is skip this room that Eduboy is entering currently, deemed in the runs that have to go through it as Hell Room, because there are 3 or 4 Soul Twisters there, and they can quickly chain you and end your run.
Pretty good RNG from Soul Master.
Yeah, I got an unfortunate dive at the start, but other than that, got the quick kill set up pretty well. And Pharest is getting bullied by the Great Husk Sentry over there, which positioned itself in the doorway so that he couldn't get by.
Also, really clean second phase from Edu. Ooh, Fair saving the grub. Very good job.
Love to see it. Eduboy picks up Desolate Dive from Soulmaster there. Something to note about Desolate Dive is it hard saves your spawn location, which is why we need to make this long trip out of Sanctum and can't just save quick to bench.
You see Pharest just picking up Shade Soul now, still quite a bit behind, but still able to make up the time easily. We still have a lot left in this run.
Seen some nice dash slash elevator strats from Eduboy. Soul Warrior's being a bit of a jerk to Pharest.
Oh no.
I'd like to see him heal before this room.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
That Soul Twister isn't being any nicer to him either. Teleporting right in his path. He switches to the other side and it teleports into that path too.
Oh, goodness, yeah. Edu definitely getting a lot better RNG than Pharest for Sanctum.
Yeah. So Edu will take this mandatory bench at Fire here. And that'll be the last bench we take until after we've gotten Dream Nail, which will make this Crystal Peak split coming up very scary because it's long. There's a couple intentional damage tanks, and you can't bench anywhere. Pharest misses the quick kill setup on Soulmaster.
Oh, all these dives. Oh no.
And a really unfortunate teleport out of the way of that last Shade Soul. Two masks going into the second segment of Soulmaster. A little bit scary, but should be pretty safe. As long as we don't see any risky quick kill strats from Pharest, and we don't. A very clean second phase.
Yeah, unfortunately, one of the not so great things about this category is some areas and bosses have quite a bit of RNG. And you can just really see that in the difference between how Eduboy and Pharest did Sanctum.
Yeah, and you can see those little effects of RNG anywhere throughout pretty much any Hollow Knight run, at least one on 1221, because the enemy spawns in just about every room are random. And that's kind of one of the things these runners learn to deal with experience. They'll know what to do in every individual room with every individual enemy spawns, more or less. Which is one of the more difficult things about learning this game. Looks like we have a freeze of Pharest's stream. Hopefully, get that back.
He didn't go offline. We go on the Discord. I'm guessing his stream might have gone offline and he's still doing his run.
Yeah. Well, as we get that sorted, Eduboy will be making his way through Crystal Peaks and makes an attempt to hit the God Pixel, but misses it, understandably. It's a very tight trick. We'll elect to go right side in this next room.
Okay, yeah, it looks like the stream just went offline for a little bit.
And we get Pharest's feedback as he benches at the Spire bench. Sticking with Pharest's theme of bad RNG, he gets bad RNG on those husk spawns down there and only gets one of them with the Desolate Dive. Luckily, he had a lot of Geo coming out of Sanctum, so he will be okay for Camp Station. We see an underplat from Eduboy. Let's get hype.
Underplat, woo!
Woo! For anyone unfamiliar, underplat is that trick where you dash under the last platform of the Crystal Peaks laser room, and as everyone knows, your run is invalid if you do not do it.
Yes, not doing underplat is blasphemy. Unacceptable. You see Edda doing dark room here. We don't get, because we have dive, we don't need lantern to get into Crystal Peaks, so we don't need to farm the Geo to get lantern, so we can just go in there right away. Unfortunate thing is we can't see in the dark, but all the top runners are pretty good at memorizing the layout of the room and how to get through it.
Yeah, that notably is probably the hardest dark room in the run to do optimally, like we saw Eduboy do with all those dashes, because there's a lot of small platforms you got to hit, a couple crystal hunters you have to avoid.
Yeah.
So it's always nice to see that done cleanly. See if Pharest attempts Pog Axe here. And a Pog Axe from Pharest. Let's get some hype in the chat.
Eduboy having a pretty clean C peaks overall, so good for him. Very good on his side.
Yeah, Eduboy is definitely doing a great job of not giving Pharest much opportunity to catch up here. Eduboy will be starting the Dream platforming here. Notably, unlike in some categories, we get to skip most of it with the C dash that Eduboy is demonstrating right here.
Oh no, there's missing the underplat.
Oh no.
I have to go a little slower now through the room. Okay, he gets through it. We're fine. Everything is fine.
Yeah, he has some soul so he can heal up before the next segment. And everything will be okay. Yeah, as Chomps in chat points out, missing underplat's probably one of the worst feelings as a runner. Because the trick, as much as we meme about it, only saves like 0.1 seconds. And if you miss it, it loses like 20.
Yeah, like we said earlier, mandatory trick. Not allowed to finish a run without it.
Of course. So Eduboy will be
heading. Oh, you can go. I apologize.
No, go ahead.
So Edu's heading up to Watcher Knights. This is because we have D-Dark, this is a relatively simple fight, but it's still really easy to take a lot of damage here. So the runner's probably going to play relatively safe. The Watcher Knights only take 3 D-Darks to kill. So you see Edu do it right here. Unfortunately, they roll away. That's not really what you want to see in the fight.
Yeah, we saw a good adaptation from Edu, though, with the Shade Soul to finish off the Watcher Knight.
Yeah, he's adapting very well. This is impressive.
Yeah, Edu's gotten some pretty bad Watcher Knight RNG and has made quick work of them regardless. That was in
this patch
absurdly clean
using
Watcher Knight's fight.
Yeah. On this patch, using another D-Dark does not resets your iframes. So you can really just spam them and be perfectly safe from the boss.
Yeah, so the majority of the Watcher Knight's fight difficulty in this category comes from trying to corral them together so that they both get hit by your D-Dark, or getting some tricky Shade Souls in there to hit both of them at the same time. Notably, to do that, runners have to damage tank a lot, often. And you can still die in the fight, contrary to popular belief, by just trying to damage tank too much to be as fast as possible and getting yourself in a risky situation.
Yeah, a lot of the time runners might go into the fight thinking, all right, I have D-Dark, I'm going to be invincible for 80% of this fight, so taking a couple damage tanks isn't really a big deal. But then those couple of hits turn into 4 hits and then 5 hits and then you're dead.
Yeah. So here we see Eduboy making his way towards the Isma's tier skips. These are one of those places in the run where you can definitely see a lot of time loss, even from top tier runners, if they just get out of rhythm on one of the 3 rather precise skips that are coming up.
Pharest just picking up Dream now, so now he'll be on his way to Watcher Knights as well.
Eduboy will get Spike Tunnel on his second try, which is nice to see. Spike Tunnel is probably the most scary of these 3 skips, because it's really easy to take a lot of damage there quickly.
Very clean skips by Edu.
Yeah, very clean. He'll hit that worm, and hopefully that'll give him early control here at the cost of 1 health. For anyone just joining in, Pharest is about 3 minutes behind because of a death to Hornet 1 in Green Path. See a clean Watcher Knights from him, though. He's certainly making his best attempt to get back into the race. So Eduboy will be approaching the Mauler room here, which is notably a kind of scary area in that it's partially RNG, partially a tight cycle-based room that you can take a lot of damage in, some of which is kind of unavoidable. See Edu make it past the first Mauler very safely. And opt to do a C-dash cancel strat to make it past the third and second one. And take 1 hit of damage to the fourth Mauler and make it past the fifth one. A very clean Mauler room.
So missing the cursed basin skip. Fortunate. It's a third try though.
Yeah, I think as long as you get it within 3 tries, it doesn't lose time.
Yes, I believe so.
And we will see Edu, as we see with most of the bosses in this run, make quick work of it with his high-level spells and D-Dark iframes.
Broken Vessel's actually a little harder than you would think because speedrunners are typically used to things going fast, but Broken Vessel is so slow that actually makes it kind of hard to figure out what to do when he does something. Not to mention that the empty hops that he does don't help either. Most powerful attack in the game.
Yeah, and on top of that, it's not uncommon to be coming out of that Mauler room with 2 or 3 masks if you elect not to heal, which can make the fight much, much scarier if you take an accidental hit of damage. Finally, RNGesus has smiled upon Pharest, and he will make it through the Rava room without hitting any of them.
Yeah, despite the Hornet death and the really bad RNG in Sanctum, Pharest is still doing pretty well.
For sure. So it looks like exiting Isma's tier, Pharest is 2 minutes and 50 seconds behind, which is about a death worth of time loss, depending on where it is. I'd expect we'll see Edu safety bench before Hornet 2 coming up here, given that they felt the need to practice ahead of the race. And their lead, assuming they're watching and are aware of it.
Okay, well, RNG's is not smiling on Pharest anymore.
No, he is not. Pharest takes 3 hits from the first 4 Mallworks.
Oh, and he gets the wall clink storage on the last one. On him for reacting to that very well.
And the second try basin skip from Pharest. We'll save a little bit of time with that over Edu.
Hopefully this fight goes well for him.
Yeah, here we're seeing what I mentioned earlier, where it's really easy to end up entering this fight with much less than full health. But Pharest should be safe at 3 mast at the risk of commentators cursing.
Yes, I'm not going to say anything.
I trust Pharest.
Pharest is a really clean fight.
Eduboy is fighting Hornet 2 right here, which is notably probably the most difficult boss in the run. But makes pretty quick work of her, very safely.
I didn't see if he took the safety bench or not. He might not have.
I did not either, but it does not matter.
Yeah.
Because Edu gets it first try.
Assuming Pharest won't take the safety bench, he just has to make up a lot of time.
Yeah, chat is informing me that he did in fact take the safety bench, which means that Pharest will be able to make up like 10 to 15 seconds on him probably here if he elects not to take the safety bench and has a clean Hornet fight. Unfortunately, that will not be enough to bring him back into the race at this point.
You can see that Eduboy's HUD is missing right now. That's because we got early control after the cutscene where Hornet drags us out of the snow. It's perfectly normal. It'll come back in just a sec after he opens up his inventory.
Here we'll see both runners pass each other in this Bellfly room. If they were sharing a world, they would have just C-dashed into each other. Unfortunately, Hollow Knight is not a natively multiplayer game. Though interesting enough, there is a mod for it.
Yeah, it's a very cool mod.
Shout out in general to the Hollow Knight modding community for making a lot of awesome stuff for us to play with.
Yeah, indeed.
And Pharest will be making his way over to Hornet 2 here. We'll definitely have the opportunity to gain some time with a quick fight.
Ooh, very unfortunate spike ball spawn.
Yeah, spawned right inside of him. Hornet 2 is not looking any nicer than Hornet 1 was to Pharest. Hopefully, be able to finish this off.
There we go.
Pharest giving us a little bit of a scare, but manages to safely make it out of the fight.
Yes, not taking the safety bench definitely saved a little time for him there.
Yeah, it's of course a risky strat, but when you know you're behind in a race with a death like Pharest likely does, it's definitely the right move to make. Meanwhile, we'll see Edu pick up Cyclone Slash and make his way over to Umu. Umu, notably, is one of the big points of RNG in this run, in that an extra attack from Umu can make a one cycle much harder to get and can lose upwards of 20 seconds. It is possible to save the one cycle with bad RNG, but significantly more difficult.
Yeah, so this is definitely an opportunity for Pharest to catch up if Eduboy gets unlucky with either bad RNG or just unfortunately missing the one cycle.
Yeah, especially assuming both runners are going for a one cycle, if you really mess up the damage rotation on the first one cycle attempt, you can even put yourself in a situation where it's difficult to two cycle pretty easily.
Ooh, Edu getting the C-dash glitch. Oh,
yeah.
no. Typically in Hollow Knight, you can dash through or like kill those enemies and continue your C-dash through them, but I think it's about 20% of the time you can get hit out of it. It's very annoying.
Yeah, I don't think it's an actual percentage. I'm pretty sure it's tied to frame rate, but it's very low chance.
Oh, I didn't know that. Interesting.
Yeah, I know, because I never get it personally, very often at least.
Today I learned.
That's why you see a wide variance of numbers come about for that C-dash glitch. You'll hear 20% like we heard here, and then hear 1 in 50 elsewhere. Because it seems to be system dependent, at least to some extent, which is very unfortunate. You see a very clean one cycle from Eduboy here. Once again, not giving Pharest any room to catch up. It's a very pretty gate storage movement there where he chained it in the acid.
Yeah, the strategy we have against Umu there is basically forcing him into the wall to get him out of bounds, so then our last two Shade Souls can easily double him. And when you double the Shade Soul, it does whopping 80 damage, so it makes one cycling him possible.
And we see Pharest take a C-dash glitch on that Tic-Tac. C-dash glitch is not being friendly to our runners this time through. It looks like entering Teacher's Archives, there's currently a 2-minute and 40-second difference between the runners. Shout outs to Ratleg for keeping time here between them and chat. See some very clean and interesting movement from Eduboy through Fog Canyon there, past all those jellyfish. It's always been one of my favorite movement rooms in the game to see, just because it's really clean to watch. You zip by all those jellies with the wall jumps and all.
Looks like, oh, he missed it. I think one of the fireballs didn't double. Oh no.
Yeah, so Pharest just barely misses the one cycle there. Close enough that it actually looked like he thought he got it. But Umu will die to one fireball here after 2 quick attacks, which means Pharest will only lose probably about like 14 or 15 seconds to Eduboy by missing that one cycle.
You don't get the one cycle, that's pretty much as good as it can get for a 2 cycle, so not horrible. Pretty much after Umu, it's just a lot of running around and collecting the remaining skills. Not too many points where we can die, aside from things like the sibling climb, which should be coming up pretty soon. So Pharest still has a couple opportunities to catch up.
Yeah, there's also definitely some opportunity in Dark Deepness, which is also somewhere where you lose a lot of time if you run into trouble.
Yes, that's also true.
But I'd expect from both these runners that they are pretty well practiced in the room. Pharest taking a little bit of damage on the way out of Archives, but that will not matter as he's forced to take this bench anyway to save Quit out too after he picks up Great Slash. Meanwhile, Eduboy will be entering the Dartfly arena. This arena is guarding Howling Race, which is one of the skills we need to get. And while the enemies are very low health and not too much of a scare to the runners, it's definitely a room that can quickly get out of hand if you get off cycle, and you can lose a lot of time in.
Almost perfect from Eduboy, though.
Yeah, that was a very clean arena. Yeah, as is being pointed out in chat, at this point in the race, barring a death, this is pretty much an insurmountable difference between the runners. This is definitely looking like it is Eduboy's race. Eduboy there showing off a nice little Thorns Warp that we can do to avoid doing that little jumping puzzle in Queen's Gardens. And that'll just save a little bit of time at the cost of 1 mana. Eduboy will enter Dark Deepness with 4 masks, which is the most you can get there without any healing, which should put him in a pretty safe position to navigate the area.
Oh, good sit there.
Yeah, opted to go for the slightly more risky inventory drop there. There's also an option to Descending Dark instead, which will make it so that you will never get hit, but loses just a little bit of time. And Eduboy will safely make it through Dark Deepness.
Pharest also having a pretty clean arena there. Just a couple minor mistakes.
And Eduboy will quickly kill that Devout with the soul he entered with and make his way into Hera's room to get the last dreamer of the run. Now, since this is all skills and not any percent, Eduboy is not quite done. He will need to make a trip to the Abyss to pick up Shade Cloak and Abyssal Shriek before he can fight the Hollow Knight.
I believe that might be Eduboy's keyboard in the background.
Yes, we are blessed with some beautiful keyboard ASMR.
Now that we have obtained Kingsbrand after dealing with the Hornet fight, we can go into the Abyss and get the last 2 skills that we need before finishing the run.
Yeah, and in the Abyss we'll find our last real possible death point, which is the sibling climb at the lighthouse. But even with a death there, I believe Edgy would still be in the lead.
Yeah, I believe so.
Though it would certainly make the race much closer.
Oh, whew.
Edgy will take a little bit of damage in that climb, but will end up making it out just fine. There's nowhere else for him to take damage, really, until he quits out at Shade Cloak here. So he will be okay. good demonstration, though, of how easily that sibling climb can get very scary, because the siblings do 2 masks of damage, and you have 5 masks total. So it only takes 3 hits to end your run there. Eduboy is now on his way to pick up Abyss Shriek, the last and final skill of the run. It will also be the skill that we will use to fight the Hollow Knight. Notably, Abyss Shriek does the most damage out of any spell in the game. And unfortunately, though, it is meant for air enemies. So using it against enemies like the Hollow Knight, you will see a lot of RNG involved, because whenever he ducks, he will avoid the Shriek.
Pharest not going for the swag door. Unacceptable. Great keyboard noises. That is coming up on the Abyss climb here. Let's see how he does. One of the more fun parts of the run to watch.
And that was a
has
rather fun Abyss climb.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I wonder if he has like maybe push to talk on or something and he just accidentally hit the button.
Yeah, that would be my guess, because we definitely didn't have the keyboard noises earlier. We won't need to hear them for much longer, though, as Eduboy approaches the end of the run. All that's left for him is the Hollow Knight fight.
Yeah, at this point it'd take quite a few deaths to THK for various people to catch up, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Wow, that was perfect cyclone for the chain. That was very impressive. That's something that's actually quite hard to do.
Yeah, those cyclone wiggles on the spike, or not the spikes, the chains, are very precise. And we will see a very clean and very safe Hollow Knight fight from Edu. Only got probably a couple more shrieks before the fight's over. See a nice clean scream skip.
Yeah, there we go.
That'll be it. That'll be about a 53:08:09.
This is a pretty good race time.
That is a really great race time. I can't seem to find Eduboy's time here on the leaderboards, but I'm sure he's happy with the 53. Meanwhile, Pharest will be entering the Hollow Knight fight. We will switch over to his audio.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Do that. Edu's informing us in chat that his real PB was a 53:36, so that was in fact a race PB right there by 27 seconds.
Oh, okay. Nice. Pharest having a pretty good fight so far.
Yeah.
Wow, that was probably like close to comp stop for the fight. That was really good.
Yeah, that was absurdly good. Very nice, clean scream skip there. Where we actually skipped the scream skip by doing so much damage to Hollow Knight that it never gets a chance to scream at all.
GG's to Pharest.
Yeah, GG's the Pharest. A 55:23 with a death to Hornet is an absurdly good time. You gotta give him props for pulling the run back and doing his best to stay in it.
Yeah, definitely. So we should be able to get them in here in just a moment.
Yep, I just marked Pharest is done, so they both should have their invite. Once both runners are in the Discord, we will invite them in for a post-match interview.
I pinged Pharest and see where he is. Alright, we got one person. Just waiting on Pharest now.
Hey. Can you guys hear me well?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, great.
So a PB at you. Congratulations on that. 27 seconds, right?
Thank you. I'm
28.
pretty surprised actually because I lost 40 seconds in Mantis Claw. I was like so far behind and I still PB'd somehow.
3 times safe for next time.
Yeah, guess so. I mean, this PB that I had, like I knew I could do better, like by a lot. So in that sense, I guess it's understandable that I could still PP after that. But yeah, it was a good run.
All right, looks like Pharest won't be joining the call. Looks like he has something to do. That's all right.
All right.
He says GG's to you, Edu.
Yeah, sure. GG's to you as well. It was a good race.
Yeah, and we saw Pharest took a very unfortunate death to Hornet there, which definitely set the tone for the race. Were you watching the race as it happened?
Well, I have it on a laptop right next to me, so I just glance over every now and then. But yeah, so I realized that he died, and so that kind of gave me a sense of relief, I guess, and I could play a little more safely, like taking the Hornet 2 bench and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, everything in the run went really pretty well. Not any big mistakes from you. It's a very solid run.
Yeah, I actually got 3 golds even.
Oh, very nice.
That's nice.
Awesome.
So what was the strategy of unmuting your mic at the end there and then giving us some good keyboard ASMR? Is that planned?
Definitely not planned. I didn't even realize I unmuted until I looked at chat, and yeah.
Were you just mashing too hard or something and it turned it back on?
I don't know. I don't have any hotkeys enabled for this restream layout on OBS, so I don't know how I could have unmuted it.
All right. Well, I'm sure chat enjoyed keyboard ASMR.
Well,
I know I did.
Okay, well that's great. No harm done. Yeah.
So I think about a week ago you had informed me that you'd not touched this game at all since the last race. So within the past week, were you actually practicing, or was it more just procrastinating?
Well, for the last few days, I've been grinding out Soul Sanctum, or the D-dive split, because I was really close to comms up, so I just went to grind it, and that's basically all I've done. Okay. I haven't done any runs or anything, but yeah.
Yeah, that was a pretty good Soulmaster fight. That second phase was really clean.
Yeah, I noticed that it went a lot better than before all that practice, for sure.
Yeah, but a 5308 with a Hornet safety bench and a Miss Mantis Pogo. When are we going to see a 52 from you?
Well, hopefully soon enough. Yeah. if I actually start running again and don't wait until the next race. Yeah.
I would say it's a good idea to keep running this to practice, considering you're also 2-0 now, so I'm sure it's going to be even harder next time.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So anybody have anything else to say, or are we all good to go?
I think that's it.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for joining, Eduboy.
Yeah,
congrats on your win.
Yeah, thanks for calling as well.
No problem. All right, we'll see you around then.
All right, see ya.
All right,
I think we should just switch over to the end of the episode.
The runners, yeah, and we will end this here.